after that, we'll get original.
Tell us, what are you most passionate about?
What am I most passionate about? Right now, I'd probably say I'm most passionate about trying to build a more secure future, if you will. I've been kind of working part-time jobs my entire life. I did the classic blunder when I was a teenager of dropping out of college. So I kind of took the harder path where I have to work as I'm trying to build a career right now. But I recently have settled down with a lovely young girlfriend who has moved in with me, and looking forward over the next couple of years, I'd really like to be able to get something secure that I can kind of, do the bring the bread sort of thing. So I'd probably say I'm most passionate about working on building that future right now.
Okay. All right, so what experiences or events influenced you to feel so strongly about this?
It's kind of a variety of things. A lot of my friends, as I started getting older, have, started settling down, started getting married, moving on to the next stage, this and that. I always kind of told myself confidently that, I don't need a degree and I don't need to do the college thing, I'll find my own way. And I did for a little while, and I was actually able to settle down in a career with restaurants. But very quickly found out that is not what I was passionate about. And as I started seeing all my degree-filled friends get nice adult jobs, if you will, I started twiddling my fingers and thinking, you know what? I think it's time to bite the bullet, hit the reset button, and go for it the right way.
Gotcha. So what obstacles did you have to overcome to pursue your passion?
Probably the most gut-wrenching one was I had spent about 3 years working my way up at Farrell's Ice Cream Parlor until I eventually hit a stable point where I was a salaried manager, I had health care, and I was pretty much locked in, moved out on my own. Parents were starting to become proud of me, and I decided that that's not what I wanted to do. So what I wanted to do was go back to school, figure it out. But to do that, I didn't want to try to pull my focus and try to keep working in the restaurant. And I was about 3 months away from turning 26 and losing my parents' health insurance. So it was a big kind of step to walk away from all of that and just kind of trust that I'd be able to find something and I'd be able to keep myself set up and secure as I walk away from what was a pretty good gig, but just not the thing that I wanted to do.
Okay, so just to touch on what you said. So you said you're looking for a secure job, but are you okay with not having that kind of security as you start out?
Yeah, I understand, especially in a business like this, there's definitely a lot of moving parts and jobs kind of come and go, if you will. And I understand that that's definitely put your time in, if you will. So that's why I'm eager to jump into it, because I'd like to start running my clock, if you will. start earning my way through it. I'm okay with moving around job to job, kind of picking up where I need as I build this skill set, because I feel like I'm behind where I should be. Because if I had started doing this right out of high school, I would have been much further along. But instead, here I am, 26 years old, and I'm kind of finally starting to get my feet wet. Makes me eager to kind of get in a little bit deeper.
Okay. So what are some things that you're good at?
I feel like I'm pretty good at people. I really enjoyed managing a lot because I liked getting to find the most optimal combination of personalities and kind of bringing out the best in them and getting them to work out, to the best of their ability to produce whatever the best product is. And I tend to consider myself a little bit of a jack of all trades, master of none. So while I don't think I'm really the best at any one particular thing, I consider myself fairly decent at whatever I put my mind to, which makes me a very good pick to be able to kind of fill in wherever I might need to be. So I'm very flexible in that.
How did you originally become interested in this industry?
It's actually kind of a funny story, because I went back to school for physics and I took trigonometry. And after about my 4th week of trigonometry, I went, maybe I should not be going back to school for physics, because it was starting to sail over my head. And I was kind of downtrodden walking across Saddleback campus, and I saw the big television building. And I just thought to myself, it's so unfair that there's kids here that get to do that started doing it in high school, and I'm like, if they get to play with all the cool equipment in there, it's such a neat thing, and like just somehow, you know, it's too late for me to do that. I wonder how they even got started. And then I had the little spark in my thought of, well, how about I just walk in and ask? So that's what I did. I walked in the middle of one of, I think, Heroes classes and was just kind of like, hey, how do I get into doing this? And they said, do this, take this class, take that class, and you're in. And now here I am a year and a half later, about to get my degree for it, ready to jump on in. And I think I found my niche. I really enjoy it.
Very nice. So what did it take for you to excel?
What did it take for me to excel?
Yeah.
It took a lot of getting rid of my old school habits. So initially, when I first went to school, I kind of, you know, was smug when I was younger and thought I was, you know, too smart for this class or that class. And when I was just in the general eds, I wasn't trying, I wasn't applying myself, you know, getting C's because, you know, C's get degrees and all that stuff. But then eventually I just developed a lot of really bad school habits. So coming back, while I was focused, there were still a lot of those bad habits that I found myself falling into very quickly, procrastination being one of them. So that was a big one that, especially in this field, like you can't really procrastinate to make a TV package till the night before because it takes quite some time and a lot of work to put in. So you really have to learn the time management thing, which luckily I'd picked up working in the restaurant. I figured out a good little bit of time management, so I was able to kind of apply what I learned to that on my second go around for school.
Very nice.
Looks like you have like a little bit of production experience here with TV. Can you tell us about The Scoop? What is that?
The Scoop, it's actually a weekly magazine show that they do at Saddleback that as of this semester I've just got started to put my hands on. Last semester in my Television 1 class, we were able to do a 14-minute magazine show that I had a lot of fun doing. Just, you know, plug in different packages here and there. I actually got the pleasure of hosting the one that I was working on, which was a lot of fun. Gave me a little bit of a flair for the fun of the hosting side of things. So The Scoop itself is just what our big project in film 2 and TV 2 is.
Okay, nice. Right on. So, what with all the stuff that you've been doing, what are you most proud of?
What I'm most proud of, probably where I'm at in life right now, for the path that I've taken. I've had kind of a weird dichotomy of successes and like utter failures. Like situations where out of high school I got like my Eagle Scout award, and that was something that was just like a reigning like big win for me. And then 2 years later, dropped out of college. Bad move. Got working in a restaurant, climbed up to a restaurant, like good move. Ended up kind of getting stuck in this grinding restaurant that was just kind of tearing me apart and, you know, killing my soul. Bad. So, but I was able to leave it. So it's been kind of this fluctuation of bad and good, and I feel as if I've kind of found a harmony in it and been able to land in a nice place, and things are looking a little more stable in my future now.
Nice. So what film or TV project are you most proud of?
I was probably the most proud of the one that I directed.
Okay.
It was called Misillusions.
Misillusions,
It was fun because it just used shadows a lot, and it was basically reverse Peter Pan. So it was a shadow chasing a person around a room instead of a person chasing a shadow around a room. And it was just kind of a neat little challenge. Didn't quite nail it exactly how I would have liked. You know, it's film one thing, so I was still in the learning process.
Yeah.
But all in all, by the end of it, it was just a fun project to work on. It was a lot of fun, challenging time, staying up late with my girlfriend with like a flashlight and like the camera, just like practicing how to do different things before like the actual film day. Like it was fun.
That's pretty awesome.
So what was the most difficult part about like these different projects? Like, were there any challenges that you thought you couldn't overcome at the time?
It's hard to say that there was ever a time where I figured we wouldn't be able to accomplish something, because I knew like no matter what, we would be turning something in on that day. Whether or not it's what we set out to would be a totally different story. I'd say the hardest thing to do was to work with such a variety of different personalities. Everybody, and you just meet them first off the bat. We didn't even get to pick. You just get put in with your group, and it's like those are the people that you're with. whether or not personalities clash or they get together, whether creative differences are there or not. We definitely ran into a lot of issues with our group of people trying to get along with each other, with a combination of just people not really doing their work, people who aren't super committed as much as some of the other ones are, and it just, they'd flake out on you. And the next thing you know, everybody, the people who do care, are pulling all of this extra weight. I know our final project that we did, we had our actress flake out on us on like the last day of shooting.
Oh, wow.
And the only other time she could shoot was literally the day before the project was due. So we had to move locations to my house because it was the only other place we could do it. So I volunteered my house, and we shot the last scene like the night before, and then I stayed up and just like edited the whole thing together through the night because we didn't really have another choice. But it had to be turned in. So we got it done, and it worked. And it was playable, but it was just that was probably the biggest challenge, and it made me crave a professional environment like so much, to be like, oh, this would be so much better if everybody was here, everyone was dedicated, and like this is where everybody wanted to be. So
Very nice.
So you said that you had to deal with a lot of just like really clashing personalities. How did you overcome those personalities?
I've been lucky. At a pretty young age, through Boy Scouts, I had kind of a weird Boy Scout experience where I transferred into a very old troop. So it was filled with a lot of older boys. So within about 2 years, all those boys left. And throughout the rest of my, the next 5 years in Boy Scouts, I was the oldest. So I was naturally put into kind of a leadership position, running the troop of, by the time I was 18 and done with it, it was I think we had 50 or 60 boys in the troop that I was in charge of. So I got to kind of learn how to get people to work together, and then in management at the restaurant, I was able to finally put that to a good use. The biggest technique I use is getting somebody to understand somebody else's point of view. So when two personalities are clashing, having to be like, I understand you're mad at this person, but you have to ask yourself, why are they mad? Put yourself in their position. And I like kind of being that middle guy to be like, no, you have to bigger picture, like the bigger picture. You need to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, understand where they're coming from. Otherwise, you're just going to keep arguing. Nothing's going to get done.
So do you think all those other experiences have prepared you for this industry?
Yeah. Sometimes I think it's kind of funny because I feel like I've kind of naturally been getting pushed into this, if you will. And the traits that I've learned along the way, as much as I wish I had gotten into it when I was younger, I don't think I would be as prepared as I am now to get into it.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Do you have any questions, Grant?
So why Dateline?
Yeah.
Why Dateline? Dateline is the Dateline NBC. That's, in my opinion, it's the big one. First of all, you got NBC Channel 7 down in San Diego. San Diego is my dream city to live in, and being able to work at NBC and live in San Diego would be the home run of a century. The NBC, when I hear NBC, I either picture good television or good news stories, one or the other. But either way, it's always top of the line. And Dateline NBC, To Catch a Predator, was just the most fascinating show ever. And I look at what Chris Hansen was doing on that show, putting himself in those situations. There's sometimes you're oh my God, you're catching guys at their worst, and you're just standing there in front of him. Whew, that's some brave stuff right there. So while I don't think I could quite do that yet, it's something I've always admired, and NBC has always been a really, really exciting company, I feel like.
So where do you eventually want to end up?
That's a fantastic question. Right now, true dream would be probably late 30s or 40s, be able to be hosting a television show somewhere, because I think that would just be an absolute blast. But to get there, I think I'm too young to do it yet, and I don't think I'm prepared enough. I don't want a TV crew to make me look good while I can be the talent. I want to be the TV crew to figure out what the best way to make good television is, and then when I'm ready to be able to step on the other side of the Camry. But I want to understand everything that's happening on that side first before I do it.